what's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in to All in Our Heads. Once again, we really appreciate the shares we're getting, and every episode gets a couple of extra likes and downloads. So you guys are helping us out, and there's a couple of ways you can listen to us. Joe, what's our favorite ways to listen?
On the iPhone, I prefer the Laughable app. So go to laughable.com/download to download that, where you could. It's basically a comedian's podcast forum. You know what I mean? Like it's all comedy podcasts. We each have our own individual pages on there. Mike has his own page with all the podcasts he's been on. You can subscribe to our actual podcast and get updates whenever we put up a new episode. And if you have, they're trying to get it out for Android. Hopefully that'll come soon. But if you have Android, we like iHeartRadio. That's always a good app to listen on. Just search out the All in Our Heads podcast.
Yes. And this week's a pretty good episode. We talk about I guess not depression, nostalgia.
Does Joe need therapy?
Does Joe need therapy is basically the overall theme of the show. But we talked about what depression. Not I guess just missing out on life, regret. Maybe just general shit that I think most men feel. It's not a big as thing for broads to look back and go, "What have I done?"
Or we don't know. Maybe we're not broads. We don't know what they do.
You know what? A lot of times I talk to broads and they don't usually struggle with that aspect. I don't know if that's a man, dude, thing. I don't know what it is.
All right. Well, if you're a lady, let us know.
Yeah.
We also talk a little bit about Yankees, and Mike gives his take on the Bill Maher situation from last week. And I think it was a very interesting, introspective episode.
Yes.
Check it out.
You're listening to All in Our Heads with Joe Fernandez and Mike Gaffney. Please enjoy the show.
Now just starting, I'm capturing home movies for my aunt.
Okay.
So I just wanted to start another one before the podcast started.
Okay.
Just it's running in the background. Just
got it.
Relentless home movies that are depressing me.
Are they?
Yeah, it's depressing, man. It just it's time's going by so fast, and like I'm seeing my younger brother dancing with my cousin Anne Marie when they were little, and my grandma, my grandpa in the back, and
I don't like those. I hear you.
It's put me in a funk, dude.
I'm with you, man. I don't like going down memory lane that far back.
You know what, man? It's like this whole week of fucking like I listened to some. I already forget what podcast it was, but just whole thing about
all my family's dead.
All my
It's making me sad. I don't know why.
Nah, this like I like it was like it was some guy who I forget what podcast it was. It just came up like on a random thing, and He like tried comedy, got out of it to be like a like he needed money because he had a family or whatever, and like but was like he was like really smart, so he worked for like Google and like Facebook before it was Facebook. Like that's how smart this guy was.
Right.
But he was talking about they were talking about chasing dreams and the selfishness of chasing dreams.
Right. Yes.
They were talking about like how like especially nowadays like millennials and everyone's like, oh, I got to go find myself, I got to go out there adventure, I got to see the world. Like it's like a very me culture, very like I got to do for me, I got to be happy. Like his like every like Instagram thing that's like they're talking about like when you're like people go like on adventures and post. It's all about them and like, oh, we got to find me. It was just showing like how self-centered we are as a people.
Yes.
Like to try and find like, and then, which I thought about it and I'm like, yeah, I've been kind of self-centered, but I didn't like let that affect me too much. You know what I mean? I'm like, I could see that. But then I'm thinking like, well, what the hell else am I going to do in my life but do things for me?
Right.
Like I get your point, but I don't know.
Well, it's definitely a different society we're in. I mean, like, you know, growing up, like, I mean, your parents, my parents, when they were growing up, it was always about, you know, get married, have kids, take care, kids, raise children, you know, buy a home. Like, it's like became about like making a family unit, and like if you were a housewife and you had no real job or career other than being a housewife, that's okay. That's what we got. That's what we're here for. And if you're a husband and your job is to work 2 or 3 jobs, mow the lawn, paint the house, never have a time for you, that's your job. And that was like what everyone inspired to do. And then I believe there's a balance though, like, because then we're all over here like, oh, I don't none of that shit. There's probably got to be a balance that we're going to find out eventually with, you know, time.
Right, exactly. And then like I'm watching these home videos, like I'm seeing my uncle on the screen right now, and
right.
Time, you know what? I spent a lot of time with these people. You know what I mean? But like in my head, it like right now, it seems like a flash in the pan.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm sitting here and I start thinking about that podcast I was listening to, and I'm like, have I been so in my head about what I'm doing that I've just missed it all?
Yeah.
And like, I just got in a funk today. I'm like,
I hear you.
I'm like, I just haven't been around.
Right.
But I have been around, but it doesn't seem like you've been around. It's like, I don't know how to like.
Dude, if you listen back to about 25 episodes ago, I was talking and crying on the fucking podcast about this same feeling of feeling like it's all about, like, have I missed it all? Like so obsessed with my own fucking existence and my own thing that I missed all the great moments. Are they gone? Have I missed them all? Because I don't remember them. I fucking let them fly by me.
Yeah, like I'm 42 years old, and I'm like, I'm too old now to do anything.
Right.
Like I feel like it's irrational, but you're like, I don't know. I feel like if I look back, it's only been like 10 years I've been majorly obsessed with myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like career wise and stuff.
Right.
But a lot's happened in the past 10 years. But you know what it is? I just think it's my negative, my depressive side of my brain just beating on me. Because I think if I rationally sit down and look at all the things, it's fine. It's just, you just watch these videos and you're like, holy shit, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on here? Like, I don't even know. Like, I'm watching these videos. I'm like, what's my purpose? Like, these videos are making me go, what's my purpose?
Oh, I know. Because you sit, I do it all the time. I look at my children. I look at the moments that are gone. I look at their faces. I look at their little like their little videos or their little, and all these little photos that come up and like of their little fucking hands and little feet. And I look at them and I'm like, all the moments are gone. Like those moments are gone. Like them sitting on my lap, me going, hey, you guys want to go out for ice cream? That time passed. And
yeah.
I was caught up in my own little world. And I missed a lot of those moments. I was a part of a lot of the moments, but I missed a lot of moments too. And again, I think there's always a balance. And I think you learn it as an individual too. Like some people are all about going to work, paying them more. Like, I mean, all about family. I want to make sure my kids. Some people are all about that.
Yeah.
I'm not all about that. But if I was to look at all my like pictures and videos of like being like a teenager and like all growing up in my teens, early 20s, we would go to North Carolina every year, spend 2 or 3 weeks with all my family and love them so much. And then you're like, I haven't done that in so long.
Yeah. Like, yeah. So you got like, here's my, like, I've been like pondering and thinking all day, you know what I mean? Just like,
that's why you had a headache.
No, I had the headache way before.
Okay, it didn't help.
The headache. No, it didn't help that. Actually, you know what? Because by being depressed and thinking too much, it put me to sleep.
Oh,
like I got so overwhelmed. I'm like, I just got to take a nap. And that's one good thing about depression. You're sleeping.
So what were you saying? A lot of times, like I talk to people who are older, and I have 2 kids, so like I'm never really alone. I always have that possibility to, I mean, it's always there. I get what, you know what I mean? Like I have something, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of times that this comedy thing, I love what I do. And like, it's put us in a position. It put me in a position that I can't do a lot of things a lot of dads do.
Right. Yeah, I'm thinking, like, I feel like, especially me, the way I am, no matter, I don't know if other people are like this or if it's like who I am and this addict brain of mine or this self-centered brain of mine. I don't know if the average person's like this, but it's like, I feel like no matter what decisions I've ever made in life, I'm like, what would happen if I did the other thing? Like, I'm never like, I have no courage of my convictions. I don't know if that's the right use of that.
You're not confident in your decision making. Like, you made the decision, like you just can't go and say, "That's my decision." You think about what could have I've done that differently.
Right. Like I look at my family on this video and I'm like, they're just regular family. Like I decided not to have that because I wanted to do something different with my life.
Right.
And there was a time when I did want a family and stuff, and then I just like kind of hijacked somebody else's family. Like in the meantime,
right.
I feel like I just kind of like dipped in, became a stepdad and stuff like that.
Yeah, right.
And then I'm like, I'm looking here, I'm seeing my grandparents old, and they're there with their grandkids, and I'm like, am I gonna regret all this when I'm old? Only because it's not working out now. My dreams I sacrificed for.
Right, I know.
And I'm 42, and I'm like,
I think
did I sacrifice all this to peddle some CD I'm going to record at firehouses?
That you won't record because you're not ready?
Because because I can't make that decision in my life. like what am I doing?
That's the title of your CD. Here's my CD, I think, maybe. Guys, listen to my CD, maybe. I think this might be the one.
But I don't know if I'd be happy the other way either. Like, I honestly, like, if I look back, I'm like, I'd probably be a divorced person if I did that back then, because it's not what I wanted to do back then.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was what you wanted to do. And at the time, until I was, I'll just give you my story. Until I was 30 years old, all I wanted was to be in love, have a family, be a dad, have a home, come down, down the stairs with my briefcase and my suit and tie and go to work, come home and see little kids playing in the yard, right? Yeah. That's what I wanted. And then I had, not the home, but I had my kid's mom, my babies. I had a good job at Home Depot, a good career. If I would have stayed with that in the 90s, I would have probably been, a DM by now and probably making a really good living.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was on the right paths for everything that I wanted to do. I got the dream job as an outside sales rep. Everything I wanted happened. I got everything I wanted, and I still was like, I don't know. And then I did one open mic, and actually I worked on before the open mic, I was doing a lot of like step work and a lot of like soul searching just to figure out what makes me tick, because I didn't know what the fuck was happening with me. And when I hit like 31 years old, and I did that open mic, I was like, I don't want all of that. Like, none of that's gonna make me who I am. I'm not like a businessman, dad. I'm just not that guy. I love my kids more than anything. That's not the question. It's just I'm not that guy. Once I did that open mic, I was like, I'm this guy. This is the guy I am. And just like in Seinfeld's fucking video where it's like, when Arnie was like, all the people going together and having lives and buying homes, and Simon's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Right. Like, that's not what we do. Like, that was so settling for me when I was only doing comedy for about a year when I watched that, but it made me feel like, oh, okay, I'm not crazy feeling like I just want to be this.
Right.
Now, is there responsibility and balance? Yes. Do I have some regrets? There's some regrets that I wish I would have spent more time with my babies when they were a little smaller. And I did, but I'm talking about when they were like 10, 11, 12, 13, like in that area.
Yeah.
I kind of miss those years a little bit from working a lot.
Right.
But I mean, I think at the end of the day, I'm always confident in my decision making.
Yeah.
And do I have regret? Yeah, some things, but not much.
I think everybody must have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You wouldn't be a normal human being if you just went through life.
I talk to people that are parents that say, I love my kids, but I wish I never had them.
Or I wish I would have done something less restrictive than I have to go to work, 10 hours a day at a job I'm not happy with.
Right. And even so, isn't even so much about like kids and stuff. It's just about like recently, I've been just burning out trying to like be at everything with my family, like my brothers and my nieces, all my nieces' stuff.
Right.
Because I felt like I've been so worried about stand-up and career but it's burning me out trying to be in I can't be everywhere.
No, but I think that's where you got to get the balance, and that's where your Zoe's crazy head doesn't know how to balance it.
No, I don't know how to balance. Well, that's why like I look at it this summer, and I have like a week. I have like 2 like weekend headlining gigs.
Right.
One in July, one in August. Actually, the July one's a weekend, and then Uncle Vinny's is a Wednesday, Thursday in August.
Right.
And I don't have anything else, you know?
Right.
And I'm like relieved. Like when normally I'd be like, oh, fuck, I can't believe I got no spots. I'm like, I kind of don't want to do it for like 2 months.
Right.
Like I have one each month to keep me going.
Right.
And I'm like, I feel like the universe is just like, dude, you need to slow the fuck down, man. You're burnt out. Like,
right.
It's so weird because I've never felt better on stage. Like I really feel like I'm in the zone lately. Like all this hard work is really what I've been wanting, and it's at the point where I'm totally fucking burnt out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like where I'm totally like, you know.
I think everything. I mean, like. Even if it's a great thing in your life, has to be done with a balance.
Yeah.
Right? Everything has to be balanced in. And like, as far as artists and comedians and actors, I'm sure every performing artist experiences this imbalance where they're all about their career and not only going to spots and getting spots and trying to figure out sets and new jokes and tags, besides all of that stuff. The obsession of where's my next spot? What am I doing with my career? Let me get on the emails. What the fuck? Let me make my website better. Let me put out some content. Let me make a goofy video. All this shit.
Right.
I mean, that you're thinking about in like today. I'll just say, for instance, my son, it's a fat guy problem, but he ate my potato chips. And I was kind of cranky. And he put the Pringles can right next to my bed as if they were full. So I went over there to get some Pringles and they were empty, and I aggravated the fuck out of me.
Right.
I'm like, why did you put them back?
Yeah.
Just throw the can out. And he was like, sorry. I'm like, you fucking ate. And I got mad. And then I sat over here and I was like, I'm cranky. I got mad, and we don't have many hours left on this planet together. And I just snapped at him. And we're not together that often.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like. What the fuck? You have a moment with your son that's laying there. So what? He ate your chips.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just cranky and aggravated, and I snapped at him. But, like, I thought about it. As soon as I did it, I was like, man, how many minutes you have left on this planet, and you're going to fucking get angry because your Pringles are gone, you fat fuck?
Yeah. Well,
how was that?
That was my phone.
So, yeah, I mean, I go through it a lot. I mean, not being in a relationship, then, finding somebody and then not being in a relationship again. I think about, like, what the fuck what is my purpose when I look at my like, I don't have any of that anymore. Like, I don't have the aunts and the uncles and let's do that. We don't do that anymore. I have my family's still alive, my mother and father, but they're old and they're out of it, man. Holy fuck. You can't get more than 2 humans. Like, they function like they look like they're in, but my father's really decaying. But my mother mentally is just fucking nowhere near planet Earth. There's nowhere near it, man.
Yeah.
And my father, he's physically ill and he's mentally, he's always been a little crazy, but it's getting worse. And it's just, but other than that, like, yeah, I think about them too. Like, what am I doing? Like, what you gotta, but. I also can't make up for 15 years. Can't make up for.
No, you can't make
right?
And I think that's what I try and do.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. That's why you're exhausted because you're like, I'm going to be at Aunt. My niece is everything she does. And she's like, Uncle Joe, you're not going to be here today. I'm just.
And I love being there. And I do.
I know.
Yeah, it's just You know, I know me though. Like even say like I gave up stand up. Like let's see, I've been doing it. So I started when I was 10 years clean. So I'm 22 years clean. So 12 years. So say around 2 or 3 years, I said, "Fuck it, I'm just done with this. I'm just gonna go do regular life."
Yeah.
I know I'd probably not be happy with that.
Right.
And be looking like, I probably could have done something with this.
Because at 3 years in, that thought didn't even come up, or we wouldn't have been talking right now.
Yeah.
At 3 years in, you didn't think, you know what? I think I'm going to start pursuing other things in my life. Fuck this comedy. You loved it. So you can't.
And for the most part, I still do. It's not like the other
absolutely.
life is like like an overpowering pull where I'm trudging along doing comedy despite hating it.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
It's like being in a relationship. Like, I've never been this way, and like I know a lot of guys are like this. It's like when they're with a girl and they spend all their time with this girl, and then they break up or whatever happens. It just falls apart. And the girl leaves them or whatever happens, and then they start going, I could have banged this broad and that broad. And it's like, dude, when you were in a relationship with your girl, you weren't in love. Yeah, I was in love. Then you didn't want to bang the broad. Then fuck that broad that you didn't bang.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing.
Yeah, you wouldn't have done anyway, just because you were. Yeah, you wouldn't have. It's easy to say when you can't.
Well, yeah, you look back, you know what, fuck all the opportunity I had. Like, you know what, who cares? When you're in the middle of a good thing, you don't care about the good thing. Mm-hmm. I think everything else. You just care about the good thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so you've been doing comedy, and like, yeah, when we look back on it, like when we reflect, guys reflect a lot. We like to look back and see what the fuck we've done with ourselves. Uh-huh. When we look back, and especially when it comes to comedy, there's not a lot of pieces to put together. Like, all right, that happened, but it's gone, and that almost happened. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot to look back on. It's just like a million shows you've done. You're like, big fucking deal.
Right.
But the truth is, in the middle of that, even when you were back in the day, you're like, I'm going to do, what, you want me to come do 30 minutes? Oh, yeah, it's going to be awesome. Like, we're going to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the joy of doing comedy and making people laugh is fun. The career aspect of it makes you have, like gauge yourself and see where you are and what's coming along. And, I've been blowing off every weekend to go down, do these shows. Am I blowing off family things I could be doing? Like,
yeah.
What, you got to just sit around
and wait for family events?
Yeah. No.
No, yeah, no, I totally, like, believe me, like, if I wasn't watching these videos today, I'd be totally fine with my life.
Well, I'm not saying when.
Yeah, it's like these things that trigger you.
Absolutely. I thought about my grandfather the other day. I picked up a picture of my grandfather, and I'm like, I cried. I'm driving down the street. No, I'm driving down the street, and I thought about a song and how my grandfather used to like that song, and I start crying.
Yeah. And
then I start thinking I'm never going to have that time back again. It was like, no, you're not, you fucking moron. You're not getting that time back again. And but then that stuff makes you think about everything that you could be done it different.
Yeah, I think I have to talk with more regular people and see if they have feelings of wishing they did things different. Well, because I feel like some people aren't honest like we are, because they feel like if they tell you that, then
their life is a sham.
They're shitting on their. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like when I see people like on Facebook, like parents,
right?
That it's just like this constant amazingness of their life and children. Yes. Then I have like my sister-in-law, my two sister-in-laws, and a couple of friends. These girls I went for high school that are honestly shit on how hard being a mother is.
Right.
Like they just shit. Like they're just like, this is crazy. Yeah. This is insane. Yeah. I'm fucking exhausted. Right. I'm out of my mind. You're like, thank you. I want to hear someone be honest about how the shitty part. I'm sure overall it's good.
Look, let's take the kids. I love my children. The extracurricular, like when they were in grammar school, I was like a really good school dad.
Yeah.
I went to events. I went to fucking all the meetings. I had all their stuff that they did. And I was very on top of them. When they went to high school, I kind of tapped out. I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And their mom got really involved when they were going into high school. And I was like, let her do it now. I did it for fucking 7 years of grammar school or 6 years of grammar school. Let your mom take over. She knows the school they went to. Their mom went there. So she knew some teachers. She knew some principals. She's got this. Let your mom get it from here. I'm going to tap out. I kind of regret that a little bit, but I see parents like going to Jimmy's this and Philly's going to here and we got this soccer tournament. We're doing this and he's did cheerleading and she did I'm like, I'm glad I don't want to do any of that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do any of that, man. And I'm wondering is if, I guess some parents don't want to do it either, but they just do it because of they're programmed that way and they just be like, fuck it, it's all about the kids. Like, I haven't been that. I missed that wiring.
Yeah. And even being a stepdad, I was really involved with Justin from when I met him at 5 till he decided he don't want to hang out with us no more, which has been a couple of years now.
Right.
Because he's 16,
Yeah.
And he's doing it. And yeah, I was telling Carrie the other day, I'm like, yeah, just connect with him maybe once a month. Just
right.
It's very, very rarely, you know what I mean? In passing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it makes you think, did I do enough? Did I do something that fucked up this relationship?
Right. No.
Was I too busy working? But she's like, no, it's just where he's at, and he'll come back to us. And I look back when I was his age, and I disappeared from my dad and mom's life, and then circled back.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? But it's just a weird thing. It's just a weird thing, because I want to, it makes me oh God, I got to dig my heels in harder now in my career because I've sacrificed so much. I have to make this work. I have to do something with this because I've.
That's not true either.
No, it's not true either. I mean, the prize is that I've been doing what I enjoy with my life. I don't feel like I work.
As an outsider, looking at your life, and this is not in your head or in your in what you think about yourself, because what other people think doesn't really matter at all anyhow. It's when you put your fat head on your fat pillow, what you come up with at night. That's all that matters.
Right.
But as an outsider looking at your life, you have a pretty good balance because you have a wife and 2 stepkids that are really older and kind of we don't really need your assistance.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? They're kind of on autopilot for themselves. Your wife she does her thing. She has her routine. You're not fucking her routine up.
No.
You know what I mean? She does her thing. So you go to work, you're a loyal employee, you hustle to make extra money when you need to, you take care of bills at the house, you go to functions, you fucking are at her mom's house way more than I would be at any girl I'm dating's mom's house, that's for sure. You're there, you do the stuff, you do all the stuff. My ex Melissa, she'd be every Sunday, it was we're going to my mom's house. I'm like, and they're great people, but I don't want to go. It's Sunday. But I did it. I used to do it too, but not happily. You seem a lot more balanced. You're happy to do it. You're happy to go see your brother. You're very involved in their lives, and you do comedy. So you're kind of. I'm saying you're balanced.
Yeah, for the most part, I feel balanced. I think when I'm exhausted, I feel very unbalanced. And
right.
I think it's just more.
These videos are nostalgic. They bring back memories. They make you think you miss the people. You miss the times.
It's just I'm nostalgic right now. It's just breaking my heart that a lot of these people are dead,
right?
And that
and those times are over.
And time moves fast. No, it is. It just but then I think I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That just is what it is. You're am I creating memories that people will look back and I'm never around?
I think that too. Am I going to create memories where people are going to think of me?
Yeah, they're I feel at most memories of me pulling out of the driveway.
No, but that's not true. Yeah.
I said, I joked with my brother one day because, he drives a lot for his sales job.
Right.
And I was I drive a lot for stand up. And I was I think if my life flash, if it's true, your life flashes before your eyes, I'll be in a car most of the time. I'll be in a guitar hitting the go back 30 seconds on the podcast because my ADD didn't let me hear what the fuck you just said. Hey, what was that? What was that? I can't even focus.
You were still thinking about the thing you said a minute ago. Well, it does happen a lot. Oh, what's he at now? Where's he at?
Yeah. It's sometimes because sometimes you feel like you're on a mouse wheel. But then I talk to people like that. But that guy, that original podcast I listened to, like, he felt like he was on a mouse wheel with his job. It's like just working all the time. You know what I mean? And to be like my brother Mike is successful financially with his job, but that requires him to work so damn much.
Exactly.
He's barely home.
Right.
To pay. So it's like
it's
like
the
not
same
being
thing.
Yeah.
To be successful, you're going to have to dedicate a lot of time.
Yeah.
Right?
I just want to be successful. That's
the point.
I'm dedicating so much time and I'm just not
I think
successful.
that's the point we're getting at.
Like I'm like, well, no, it's funny though. Like I'll hang out with like people like KP, a lot of these comics. They look at my career, they're like, dude, I can't wait to have what you have, and I'm like, what I have is garbage.
Yeah.
But to them, I remember back when I was their age, like to have a full calendar.
Right.
But like we just, no matter what, like right when you get somewhere, you're just like, well, I need this now.
Right.
Why don't I have that?
This is the thing. Until you do this, right? It's like when we were talking about, like, you visit Iowa. You're like, fuck, I want to move to Iowa.
Yeah.
You move to Iowa, like, fucking Iowa. I gotta work in Iowa? The fuck wants to work in Iowa?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I want that career. And then you get that career, like, this is what you do?
Yeah.
In this thing? And you're like, I don't want this one. I want something else. Like, I want more than this. You got firehouses and Knights of Columbuses? I don't fuck more than this.
Yeah.
But I try to strip it all down and go, I really love making people laugh, right? I just enjoy that.
Right.
I enjoy that, and I would love to do that and make a good living. What seems to be the case is that, I mean, that's not possible for me, and it's not happening yet for me to make a living. There's got to be, it's just really hard to make a living doing this. Yes, I love it, and yes, I really like making people laugh, and yes, I can do it well, but that doesn't add up to making a living. It's like I can make I make really good sand art. I make great sand art bottles, but they look great, but I can't sell the fuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, So yeah, I'm good at, I enjoy the job. It's just not every single person is going to work. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You know? And I wish that my career was in a different place. But I was thinking about that, I think about that all the time. I just wish I was doing something, and I love doing what I'm doing. I wish I was making a living at it, and it's not that easy.
Yeah, and I have such a supportive wife too. That's what it's like. I have no excuse. Like I come home, she's like, "How was your gig?" I'm like, I feel like it's one of the best shows I ever had. She goes, "That's amazing."
Right.
And I'm like, God, you're so cool. It's almost annoying. It's almost.
But you're in a good spot.
I'm in a good spot. I wouldn't trade my life right now for anything. It's like, because like, what do you like gonna just start being a different person?
Right.
Like, all right, I'm dumping this family. I'm quitting comedy. I'm gonna go just start over somewhere. It's like, yeah, because that guarantees happiness.
Yeah, right.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
I do know.
That's the other. That's like the other option, which is not even a realistic option, because it'd be different if my life is awful.
Right.
Like if I'm in comedy and I'm like, Jesus, I'm stuck in this god awful marriage.
Yeah. Right.
I'm stuck in this shitty career.
Yeah.
Comedy. All I can get is an open mic on Tuesdays. 12 years in.
Right.
Then you're like, maybe we could just dump all this shit.
Right.
Because I have a great wife, great job, great house, decent comedy career. If I think about starting at 30, and you know what I mean,
right,
and hustling as much as I possibly could to I can't help it took me longer to get to a headline as maybe somebody else would.
Right.
You work as hard as you can, and it happens when it happens. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's like what I think another comic said that to me one time, probably like 7 years ago. Was like, how come you're headlining yet? I'm like, because I don't know. I'm not good enough.
Right.
It's very hard to write an hour worth of material that someone wants to
purchase,
wants to put you up with.
Right. Well, purchase your job.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I'm giving you all I have. I'm not holding back. I'm not holding back this genius hour. that I could have been writing this whole time.
Right.
You know, you got the best of me for the past 12 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this isn't an easy thing, and I think you have to be. I always said, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I always said, I don't know why this. Hello?
Yeah, you there?
Oh, yeah, it must be just this side is really low.
Going
I
deaf
always
in one
said,
ear.
even when I first started doing comedy, the first time I left a day job and was like, yeah, I'm going to just do comedy, which lasted for about 3 months, and then I went back to a day job.
Yeah.
But when I first did that, I was like, I always said that if I came to a point and I can honestly admit that I've done everything I can, and I have to be honest with myself, it's just not working out.
Right.
If I ever came to that, when my gut said, bro, this is not working out, dude. You're not that good.
Yeah.
You've tried. You're not funny enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For me, my unfortunate thing is I am funny enough, and I do well in every place I am put.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the career part isn't really happening for me.
Right.
And it's depressing. And I had to take this. I got an interview tomorrow for a part-time job. I'm like putting like 3 part-time jobs together a week just to scrap together money.
Right.
Like there's one job, not enough hours. So I'll only make like $100 with this one job I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then another job, I might be able to get together like $200 or $300 out of that job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, per week. So I mean, it's not easy. I got no gigs in bill. I'm so far behind in bills. Today, I had to go to work today and like for a couple hours, and I almost didn't go. And I made myself get up and go because it's only going to be $30 or $40 I make today, but I need that $40 eventually to hit my bank account.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I hear you, man. You got to make decisions to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, and like I'm at a point where it's either throw my hands up and just say fuck life, or do whatever I can to make it happen. And I'm trying to claw and do whatever I can to make it happen. I've done a job, and it's maybe I'm going to say this to regular world and every other comic. They're like, so what? That's what you do. Cool. I'm glad that you've had that in the back of your brain your whole life. I haven't. Okay?
Right.
I took a job, and I work the job I do now. I call on BJ's, Walmart, and the Amazon. I don't know if you know this. Amazon is opening stores.
No.
Listen to this shit before I get into my job. I worked at Amazon yesterday for like 2 hours. Amazon is in the Garden State Mall. They're opening tomorrow. Is their grand opening. Beautiful storefront. What they did, Amazon put every bookstore out of business, basically, right? Barnes & Noble, kind of, but all the other bookstores gone.
Right.
Because Amazon, they're opening a bookstore in the mall. After putting everybody out of business, they're opening a bookstore now, a live bookstore. But the truth is, it really is just to capture online audience. So you walk into this beautiful bookstore, nice magazines and new releases and little like technology readers and stuff like that. And then everyone's walking around with computers like, are you a Prime member? Oh, let's sign you up to be a Prime member. If you're a Prime member, that book is, if you're not a Prime member, that book is $30. But if you're a Prime member, that book is $12.99.
Right.
And they're signing people up. It's really just a way to get people's all their credit card information, all their everything, that their shopping list.
Yeah.
So they put it in a storefront now because there's still people who are a little leery about going online. So you'll walk in a store and they're going to grab you that way.
Yeah, Amazon's going to be everything.
Everything. So
Amazon grocery stores, you're going to have it all.
Yeah, it's crazy. So the job I'm doing is in Amazon. It's all the magazines.
Yeah.
But in Walmart and BJ's, it's books. It's like, bestsellers or fucking all books. If you go to Walmart, they're like 4 or 5 sections of books. I manage that. I make sure the books are out from receiving when they come in, when they're shipped in. I put them in their spots. I take books that are out of circulation, throw them out, and that's what I do. And each store visit might be 3 hours tops.
And
I have 3 stores. So it'll probably be like 10 hours a week. Right now, could be 12. The most they're going to give me is 20 hours a week. So I'm doing that. And today I was in Walmart for a little over 3.5 hours. And I was there for about an hour and a half. And I was just like, I want to get the fuck out of here. Like, I start to wig out a minute. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Working like this? Like a fucking idiot? And then I was like, you know what, man? I need money. I need fucking money desperately. I need shit to get normal in my life, or I'm gonna quit it all. Yeah. And I don't mean off myself. I'm not talking about suicide.
No, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? I mean just say goodbye, life. I'm gonna lay in this bed until some kind of fucking thing happens. That's where I was at. I mean, I was there, like, and I'm like, no, I don't. I'm so desperate. I'm clawing and scratching at whatever I can do to make a living. I can't get more broke. I can't. I mean, I can't, though. I can't. My bank account is, I put money in. It was negative. I put money in. It got up a little bit. I paid a bill. And now I'm down like negative 300 again. I'm like, what the fuck? And I got nothing coming in. It's just like, it's nauseating. You know?
There's no shame in it, though.
No, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make this work, because I don't want to not do comedy, man. I don't want to.
Yeah, you're better off having to go do some day job, because that's just what you are. And it's just that, listen, you have to do. So I was listening to, you just have to grind. You just have to grind. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm doing. I'm clawing and scratching to survive. And I'm doing this because I don't want to not survive.
Yeah.
And if I don't do this, I'm not going to survive, man. I'm not. And I'm like, even I told my son today, I'm like, I worked 3 hours today, and like I got an interview tomorrow with a much better job. It's a little more hours. It's still part-time, but it's a lot better of a job, a little more responsibility. But I can do both. I can do this little shit job and that job at the same time. So, but I was telling my son, I was like, yeah, man, I'm only going to make, X amount of dollars this week for $100. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, so I'm not sitting back going, well, I'm doing my best. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I didn't do that. I didn't say, well, I'm doing everything I can do. I worked 3 hours today. I can't help it. I'm only going to make that much. It's like, I got to do it more. I got to just keep doing more. Because I don't want to give up on life.
Right.
And I'm at a point where I still love doing comedy, and I want to be on stage all the time, and I'm trying to hustle. I'm in the city a lot more, trying to humble and do these little things that I'm supposed to do as a comedian. And I'm trying to be honest that I'm broke. I have no money, and I'm still trying to function, because normally when I'm broke and I have no money, I don't want to face people. I don't want to walk out of the house.
Yeah.
No. But
I remember being like that. So I'm a workaholic now, and that's almost to a detriment. Because I remember that feeling like you had. I had that like in my mid-20s,
right?
Like a broke feeling, and I'm like, I can't feel like this. So now, like this year for the first time, just because comedy's paid me so much better,
right?
The past 2 years than any years before, where I was able to turn down some video gigs that I normally would take.
Right.
That are like backbreak, like it's crazy work, but you're like, I need the money.
Right.
Because I always had a hard time turning down money.
Yeah.
I'm like, you need to hoard money.
Right.
Work my ass off. And this year, I was like, you know what? I did pretty good.
Yeah.
I was throwing a lot of my comedy money away to not have to do this summertime video work.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, thank God. So it's almost like comedy's like helped me to not do this backbreaking work that I had to do.
Right.
In years past.
But I've been broke in this position before, but not reluctant. I don't know if the word, but like every fucking thing that made me not get a job.
Yeah.
Any little extra $30 here, $80 here, 110, whatever the fuck it is, whatever held me back.
Yeah.
Whatever was holding me back for the last few years that I've been struggling, I don't have in my way.
Right.
Like whatever it is was holding me back, I don't have my way. And I've been this broke before, but I don't think I've been this desperate.
Right.
And I feel extremely desperate. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to fall. I'm not going to sink. I'm going to make it. It's like I was on a boat and I was like, nah, it'll make it. It'll make it. And it's like, it finally went under. It's like, oh, fuck, it's not going to make it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I better fucking learn to swim quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing in like not buying into the other half of my brain that says I'm a failure.
Right.
Because that's what it wants to say, that I'm a huge failure.
Yeah. It's got to, it's just like, you have to, like, I think sometimes, like, I mean, what I've been thinking about lately is like, I just got to steer a different direction. I got to try new things.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think sometimes I get lazy and stale in my career path and my life. So like,
right.
I got stagnant in my life and was just very focused, like one-dimensional. And then, like I said, I wanted to get more full life. So I've been going to hang out with my brothers more, my nieces more. It's been bringing a little happiness to me.
Right.
So I got to have that same sort of thing in my career where it's like, all right, I'm getting these gigs. I'm paying bills. I'm getting money. I'm headlining more, these low-level rooms, right. On weekends. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, but I got to just try something different to maybe spark some different creativity and try and hit a new angle.
Right.
With entertainment. You know what I mean? Like, we were at the barbecue on Sunday, the Comedy Shop barbecue, and I was talking with Kevin Israel and his girl, Ashley.
Right.
We're just talking about the short films he makes, and I was talking about the short films I've made in the past that, won film festivals, and she's like, why don't you do them anymore? I'm like, because I'm fucking lazy. I mean, I said it is a money thing too, because back when I made those, I had no response. I lived in an apartment that cost me $600 a month rent, and that was my nut.
Right.
That was my big nut. I had that and a singular cell phone bill for like $30. That was my bills.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I could just blow money. But the films before that, I lived with my mother. I could totally take the bank account to zero on a movie and be I'm good to go. Mom's making food every night. This is great. But now it's a little different with the big mortgage and stuff. It's like I can't go drop $2,000 on a short film.
But you could do. I mean, did you see that stupid little video I made yesterday? I mean, it's stupid.
Me and my wife were dying.
Right.
It was so funny, dude.
Right.
I mean, it was it was good. I think those acting classes are paying off. The little acting with the sad person.
The sad person.
That was good, man. I thought it was hilarious. I wanted you to make it more full screen. I'm like, just like the technical guy in me is like, why isn't it zoomed in more? I'm like, like.
Oh, because I did it with my phone, and then I didn't know I was going to do. So it was all Snapchat.
Yeah.
I mean, deleted it down to Snap. You know what I mean? Like I just kept downloading it from Snapchat, and then I made a video, a movie.
Yeah.
But in the Snapchat, when I put one of the filters on, one of the filters, it makes a popping noise on my phone. I don't know what that is, and it makes that one, and I cannot not have it on. It's like I can't get it out of there. So
okay.
But so I made it. I thought it was funny. It made me laugh. So I was like, I'm putting this together. And it's amazing how sometimes you put something on Facebook and it gets absolutely nothing.
That got nothing?
Nothing. And I'm like, how the fuck is this getting nothing?
It's so weird.
The last time I looked, 160 views. And I'm like, no one laughing at that? I thought it was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
It's funny how you think something's really funny, no one else does. I guess. I don't know.
I think so. That's like I made that video of just like a clip from my stand-up act a few weeks ago, and it got a bunch of likes. But if you do it in reference to what Facebook was telling me, how many times it was viewed,
right?
So say it got like 50 likes, it was viewed 687 times.
Right.
Only 50 of that. Get the fuck. Those views have to be fucking wrong.
Oh, you know what it might be? It just might be if you ever scroll and a video starts playing, but you don't hear the sound. It just starts. You see it moving.
Yeah.
Like when you're scrolling on your phone, if you stop on a video, it'll start playing. You don't hear it, but it just starts playing. That
Yeah.
could probably be a view too.
Yeah, who knows, man? It's very bizarre.
Well, I'm like, I have like 8 likes, 160 views, and like 2 comments and 2 shares. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That was fucking fun as hell, and that's all I'm getting from that. And like, sometimes it's very frustrating. So that's why I put it on YouTube too. I was like, fuck it, I'll put it up there and see what happens over there.
Yeah. YouTube's even worse than it used to be. YouTube used to get so much play on YouTube, but now it's just you have to pay to get it up in the people to see it. It's just the internet used to be fun, nice and free. You just now it's all like copywritten and policed and.
Did you see that one video I put up and they wouldn't let me put it on Facebook? It was that one video of me a couple of weeks ago when I was at that hotel and like all the mirrors, and I was like, "This is how we do it," and I was like, all these mirrors.
Oh yeah.
Every time as soon as I try to post it,
it read that the song was copywritten.
It's copywritten. Do you still want to go through with it? Because it would like it's something that it let me put it up, but I think it hides it a lot. Like it doesn't let it get seen.
Yeah, I've gotten around the copyright where you just like slow it down a hair or speed it up a hair.
Oh really?
And then it like it
doesn't hear it.
Yeah, it's like there's a cover version, you know,
right,
but not too slow where it sounds like you're like. But so I'm glad we did the podcast because I already feel better than I was laying on my bed watching fucking home movies, getting all depressed, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. I would have.
Yeah, well, I was changing the input on the TV, and I had sports talk radio on, but I kept having to flip back to see if it was still going.
Right.
And it's like, oh, there's Grandpa. Oh, there's Uncle Andy. There's Grandma. Look how young my mom was. And then I see my little. Dude, I'm telling you, I am so messed up in the head from childhood.
Right.
Like I have, I'm telling you, there's a demon inside me that wants me dead. Like it's seriously, because like I'll see like my little brother Chris, and and me and him have like the best relationship today. We're like, I mean, but like I look at him when he's little on video, and I'm like, I teased him a lot back then. Like I was mean to him or made him cry. Bro, it affects me so bad now in my 40s. That I'm like, you were such a piece of shit.
No,
I know, but I'm telling you though, that's the type of mind I have. That's why I needed drugs and may need therapy. It's like it beats me. Like, oh man, you are garbage. Even though I was a kid, and doing kid things, but when I see him, it attacks me. Right. You know what I mean? It's so weird.
I don't have any brother. I mean, like I had half brother and half sister. And I didn't live with them. I didn't grow up with them, so I didn't know. I didn't have that relation. You know what I mean? Do you know there was one thing? I don't think I've ever said this on the podcast. It was I had about 9 months clean. I had an emotional mental breakdown in my downstairs in my mom's bedroom. I went in the bedroom. I went on the bed. I closed the door. When I tell you, cried and wept, I mean that sobbing, like an hour and a half nonstop. I could not stop.
Yeah,
and it was all from when I was like 6 years old. There used to be a show on TV, 6 and 7. There used to be a show on TV called Emergency. Remember that show? Bah, bah, bah. You probably were a little too young. It was just like it was an actual television show, a drama about like a fire company, and these guys went out and they broke. You know what I mean? It was a drama show. You know what I mean? Like Chicago Fire, but then Emergency. Mm-hmm. And I used to watch it all the time, and I would act like I was on the EMS truck, and I would have like my fucking little gym bag that was like my doctor's bag, and I would like run to the scene. I'm gonna help. You know what I mean? So I followed along. Like pillows were all dead bodies, and I was like trying to, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I played like that when I would. It used to come out on Saturdays or Fridays, but I would be at my grandfather's house. So when my mom, I remember being at my grandfather's house, and my mom said, "I'm coming by Pa's house, and I got a surprise for you." And I was so excited. I was like, maybe I was 6 years old. I was so excited. I was like, fucking getting a surprise. I cannot wait. And all she did was bring me my duffel bag with my already toys they're mine.
Right.
And she was so excited to give me my bag.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed that it wasn't a new thing. I didn't say anything to her at that moment.
Yeah.
I let her think I was excited.
Yeah.
And that fucked me up. From that time until I was 24, broke down crying and had to tell my mom how I really felt. That
Isn't it
many
messed
years
up?
later.
Right? What the hell's up with bad feelings that stick around that long?
Yeah, that was fucking 18 years of bad feelings. And I held on to it so much that I felt so guilty that I held it to my mom. Mom, this one time, I'm 24 years old. I'm crying about this one time when I was 6.
Yeah.
And how I wasn't honest with her to tell her how I really felt that time. And I lied and I kept that a secret that I really wasn't excited. I kind of was disappointed. And that fucking knocked me out for an hour and a half. I couldn't stop crying. And my mom was like, you said relax. I couldn't relax. I couldn't stop crying.
I get it, dude.
So
I get it. It's weird. Like when I said when I was watching that video, I see my little brother, and then I start getting on myself from teasing him his head. Then in the same, because he's getting ready for his communion, he's in his suit and everything, and then so we're in the camera's in the living room. Then it goes to the kitchen where my older brother just got up. His hair's all messed up. He's going to get like a drink, and now he teased me because I was his little brother.
Right.
But like I don't look at what I did to my that's just what brothers do. I see him, I go, he teased me because I was a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit. I tease my brother because I'm a piece of shit. My brother teased me because I'm a piece of shit. Like I give nothing. I'm just a piece of shit. Like that's my head. Like you're just a piece of shit.
Right.
And I'm so it's like it's really like the it's why I need therapy, because like I feel like I need to tell a therapist, like, listen,
this is what's going on.
So many people in my life tell me how good I am and how much they love me.
And I can't take any of it from face value.
No.
Right.
Like my wife said that to me one time, how come you just can't realize how good you are?
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
See, I fixed that. I never felt that until I was about 32 years old.
Yeah.
I haven't felt like that at all. Like sometimes I feel like I'm a fraud when it comes to some things, and I feel like, I'm not. Now I feel like I'm a really good person. I feel like I'm a sweetheart of a guy. I'm lovable, smart, but I don't. But sometimes I think I'm a fraud when it comes to some things.
Right. Like I feel if I say no to somebody, say somebody asks me for something, I say no based on just for what I'm feeling. I just I'm in every right to say no.
Yep.
But I'm like, you're a selfish piece of shit. Like
that's why you probably have excuses on why you say no, because you feel like you're a piece of shit. So you make a little. I'm not saying you're lying, but you make an excuse on why you just said no, because you just got that reaction that you're a piece of shit for saying no.
No, I tell myself I'm a piece of shit afterwards.
Right, but when you tell the person no, do you let them know why you?
Yeah. No, totally.
Okay.
Totally.
Because what's that saying?
Like one time, somebody asked me. Like I was on a 2-man show, and somebody asked me if they could do a guest spot on the show, and I was like, I don't want to be the MC that night, so
right.
I don't want to drive that far to be an MC.
Yeah.
You can obviously get a guest spot anywhere to make a tape,
right?
So part of me was like, oh, you're a piece of shit,
right.
But then I told the person, I go, they're like, no, it's fine that you said no. I get it,
right?
I'm like, yeah, I don't want to drive an hour and whatever to MC a show,
right?
Like I want to get work in.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? But I called them. I'm like, why be like why are you a piece of shit? I'm like, I don't know, because I said no. Like I feel like I got to say yes to everybody.
Yeah, right.
Or like
I get you.
Like the other night, I had to cancel a spot that was a free spot, but something came up in my life last minute. I couldn't go. I couldn't go. And I'm like, this person thinks I'm a piece of shit.
Right.
But it's like, whatever.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But like part of me was like trying to figure out a way to like put so much effort into not seeming like a piece of shit to get there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know. I'm so like hard on myself. That's the worst aspect of myself is this.
That's what needs to be worked on, because it's like that saying. There's that quote. It says, I don't remember it word for word, but it's a confident person is someone who can say no to a dinner invitation without an excuse.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm comfortable knowing why I'm saying no,
Yeah.
I'm not questioning my motives. No, I can't make it.
Right.
And that's it. I can't make it. I'm sorry. Oh, he's a piece of shit. That's how you think. I'm sorry you think that way, but I can't make it. So there's nothing I can do about that part.
Well, no, it's when I talk about it on the podcast, like podcast listeners know because I've spoke that I'm like this before. You know because I've told you about this, but like everybody else in my life's like doesn't see any of that in me.
Right.
All this stuff I'm spewing, people are like, I don't see any of that in you.
Yeah, it's because you're not in my head.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, it's my head. It's my head. I have a whack up. I need therapy. I look on my plan for a therapist like every other week.
Really?
And I'm like, I don't like this. Like, there's no Google reviews on these people. Like, I don't know. Like,
what do you don't get a feel, man. You got to be able to trust and rely on your instincts a little bit, man.
You just like walk in and be like, nah, we didn't even talk yet. I don't like your face.
I just got a feeling.
Your face ain't, you don't like me.
I'm a piece of shit, right?
I'm a piece
you are now.
Right? Would I be a piece of shit if I canceled this right now? Can you help me with not canceling this appointment? Can we start there? Where do you want to start? I'm about to tell you to go fuck yourself and cancel this appointment, and you barely know my name yet. So can we start there? That's really where I need to start. If you can convince me to stay in this room right now, you're my guy or girl, whatever. Like that's. Yeah, I want to call up a therapist.
Convince me not to cancel this appointment. We're halfway there.
Yeah, I got to call therapy offices and be like, can you guys help me over the phone to make an appointment?
Yeah.
We need to start that. I need you to give me some sort of courage to make this appointment. You have anybody that can talk to me like that? Be like, yo, man, I don't know, man. I don't know if we want you here. You sound like a handful.
That's funny.
I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know why I fight it. I feel like embarrassed to seek it for some reason. I know it's stupid. I did recovery for many years and was kind of like therapy where I would just blab my shit to a room full of addicts and alcoholics and call like I for whatever reason, you find a sponsor. It could be like a carpenter. You're like, this guy's got to know how to fix my brain. He builds houses. Like
he shot heroin for 13 years. He knows how to fix me.
Yeah, exactly. This guy was a heroin addict for 13 years, clean for 2. He's got all the answers.
I've seen his book. He highlighted almost every page.
Yeah.
He can help. He can help me.
Yeah, he can teach me a few slogans, but
no, but I think you gotta, it's normal to, but I think half the battle of therapy is being honest of how you feel.
Yeah.
I think that's half the battle of going to a therapist. And then the other half is being, willing and honest to do the work that you're like, all right, maybe I got to start fucking doing this or I got to start doing that or, you know what I mean?
I got to do it.
I don't think they have magic answers, but just going to therapy shows you yourself a commitment to get better with whatever you struggle with.
Yeah.
And that alone sometimes is like, wow, just making the effort. It's like and I hate to bring the program up, but it's in me, so it sometimes comes out of me.
It's fine.
It's like in the third step where they say we made a decision to turn over. We made a decision. It's like sometimes just saying I need fucking help relieves so much, oh wow, I fucking just got honest. Just saying, hey man, someone help me is almost, like I said, 50 to 75% of the battle.
Yeah, because I know if I don't get help, just because the way my brain's been lately, I do have a good life, but in my head I have problems.
Right.
I'll mess up what I have that's good.
Right.
Trying to, or whatever. I'll fuck up some area of my life because I'm not working on myself.
Well, the truth is, you got to look around right now. You know you have a pretty decent life, but you let your mind tell you don't. So right there alone, there's a fucking flag. Why am I allowing my brain to tell me this pretty good life sucks? Why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to get to those answers, and maybe talking to someone else other than, you know, me or your friends. You talk to somebody else that's a professional, will maybe in your own mind go, you know what, man, I'm trying. And that's all you can do for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to. I don't know if I would prefer to talk to a dude or a broad. I don't know.
Well, I got to think. If you do talk to either one, don't call them dude or broads because they're professional. They went to school for this.
I know, but on podcast, you know what I mean?
Imagine calling up, hey, what's your therapist? Like, she a broad or a dude? What is it? I don't know by the name. I can't tell.
I see you got 3 doctors there. Can you give me your number one broad? Can I yap with her for...
You know how broads are. Yappy. Is she one of them kind of broads?
I mean, I don't mind a yapper. I mean, I don't want total. I mean, I know broads listen good. I think that's why I don't trust a dude, because I feel like a dude is just going to be like, what?
Like you.
Like me. Head. Like me. I couldn't be a therapist. Like, if I was a therapist, I'd probably be a good one because...
You're not going to remember any of their secrets.
I'm not going to remember the secrets, and then I'll just be like, you know, go what's in your heart. I've given that advice to many people I haven't been listening to. It's like,
yeah.
I mean, all right, what is your heart telling? Like,
just so you can rehear the story again. Like, what is
yes, exactly.
My heart is telling me I should keep the job. They keep the job.
So, I mean, trust. Like, okay, what's your gut tell you?
Yeah.
Like, if I was telling you this, what would you tell me to do? I'd tell you to do it. That's what I'm thinking you should do. You should do it. Nah, but that's the reason why I think abroad, because I feel like I would trust that she's actually listening to me.
Right.
I just don't think a dude would. I think dudes lie. They're not good listeners. Even a good dude listener is still a bad listener.
I don't believe that. I believe that's your experience with your own listening abilities. That's not true. I'm a very good listener.
Yeah. Well, you're half abroad anyway.
Well, that's not fun, right?
Yeah. Your favorite movie's Love Actually. Yeah. You're very, you're very broad-like in your mandom.
Oh, now I know where I stand.
I'm just saying. Most dudes don't hear nothing.
Maybe. That's why I can't really identify with dudes, because maybe I'm a little too broad-like.
No, that's a negative. No,
I'm not. I get it. I take it as a compliment.
Yeah. Not saying you're gay or nothing.
No.
Even though you are.
Oh, man.
It was good.
That was a good rap session for you.
Yeah, good podcast.
Yeah, good podcast.
Yeah, we're going to end it because I'm running out of time today.
Huh?
I have to do shit.
What do you got to do? Shit.
Go hang with my family. Just arrived home.
I wanted to talk about the collusion.
I definitely not in the mood for that. Definitely not in the mood for political collusion. Fuck that.
You don't want to talk about Sessions?
No. All right. I don't. I really don't. I'm so.
Did you on that? You said you watched Bill Maher. I haven't watched it. I kind of like get this. Ever since I heard what happened on the new episode, I'm kind of like, I swear to God, it's weird. I love Bill Maher. I have not wanted to watch that episode. I just don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see that. Like, you could have just been, I know, and it's his career and his job, but you could have just been like, listen, man, I fucking was making a joke. And yes, is that word hurtful to people? I wasn't even thinking about it. And I definitely wasn't talking about black people and slavery. When I did it, I just really was talking about myself. And I can see where people got their feelings hurt. I really apologize for people getting their feelings hurt, but it was a shitty joke, and that's all it was. Done. You're not going to, Ice Cube, you're not. Excuse me. You're not going to school me.
Yeah.
Your album was Niggas with Attitudes. Shut the fuck up. That word doesn't hurt. Only you get to say it, and it doesn't hurt when you say it. But why? Why does it not trigger to some old lady who was put in the back of the bus? That word doesn't trigger her when you sing it?
You know what? I
get it.
I subscribe to the adage. It's like, you know what? I didn't grow up with the experience.
I get that too.
And I'll never begrudge.
I don't get.
I'll never begrudge them.
People getting their film
talking right or saying or I don't know. I mean, I don't. Yeah, however they feel. You know what I mean?
I don't care that they want to say it's okay. I don't even care about any of that stuff. Like, I'm not like, I don't say, hey, they can say it, we can say it. I'm not that fucking ignorant idiot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, whatever. I'm never going to say what someone's feelings should get hurt by. That's on you. I mean, but we got to look at the situation realistically and at least say that there's got to be intent behind words. Words by themselves can't mean anything. How come that's the only word in the English language that we're able to say has meaning regardless of what is behind it?
Yeah.
It's just like, who did the joke? He's Jewish. He's a Jew. Cool. He's a Jew. Was that Louis C.K.?
Yeah, probably like, sounds something like he would say.
Like, you know, like it's different. If you say it's like, oh, he's a Jew. It's fine. He's a Jew. I just said the same word. But the intent behind it is evil.
Right.
And so I mean, him saying that word, you can't just put the flag up. I'm sorry, and not at least address, you know what? We know Bill Maher's not a racist, evil person. At least say that, and I'm on board. Bill Maher should have pulled his head out of his ass and thought a little more before saying it. But he said it before. He said it to black leaders. He said the N-word.
Right.
Like in conversation with them, and like, oh, nigga, crazy. Like, you know what I mean? And they go, oh, Bill, and that's it. It's back and forth, and they're done. So it's been. I mean, it's just to call him a racist and all that, and for him to cow down like that, it just fucking irked me, man.
Yeah.
I'll skip that episode. I will not watch it. I'll just watch this coming Friday.
There you go. That's Mike's wrap up on the Bill Maher controversy. Dun, dun, dun. Now, we'll be back next week with a longer episode. We started late today because both our schedules are whack. But, you know, we got an hour and 10.
Yeah.
It's a normal episode.
We get to watch. Going to watch the Yankees tonight, 10 o'clock.
Oh, I love that judge.
I love
that judge. You know what? And real quick on the Yankees, I want to give Joe Girardi needs so much credit because Joe Girardi, for the first time in his Yankee tenure, has an actual youth team that he works with. He doesn't have to massage big egos of celebrity baseball players.
Right.
It just goes to show how good of a coach he is because he's had these guys ready and he's got these guys going because nobody gave them they're like, oh, we hope they maybe make a run at the wild card this year. That was what everybody was saying.
They weren't even saying that. They were like, it's going to be a year.
Yeah, rebuilding
year. We'll see what we got with our youth. We'll see where we're at.
Girardi needs a big kudos for this year.
Absolutely.
I mean, I believe that.
I want to tell you something. Also, our friend Ted Daniels, I don't know if you were there for this part. He was like, Judge, Yankees, too bad. I got to tell you, and he was joking. He was being sarcastic and trying to bust my balls. He's like, I got to tell you, I think if they were in a real league like the National League, they might be good too. Like he said that like that. He's like, I think they would be, you know what? I don't know if they would be as good if they were like in the real baseball league, but they would be pretty good if they were in the National League. And I want to say to that is that we went to Chicago and swept the National League World Series champs.
Yeah.
Swept them in their field, with no DH, with the pitchers batting, swept them. Then we went to Cincinnati and beat them 2 out of 3. And that's your fucking and played and your rules.
Right.
We're pretty good. And if we could take it back, forget just Yankees in general, let's take it back to 2000 when we beat you and your field and our field, we beat the fuck out of you. So until you, like the Boston Red Sox, beat us and embarrassed us, Boston can talk all shit they want.
Right.
They own it.
Exactly.
They own it. Mets, you haven't owned us yet. So until you own it, you don't get to say shit. You're in the World Series every, 16 years? Is that when you get there? So just when you're there the next time, hopefully you'll win.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's not even every 16 years because that last one was 2000, right? Was that last time they were in the World Series, or were they one recently?
They were in the World Series like 2 years ago.
Ah, okay. I forgot about that. It's so underwhelming. Nobody remembers. No one remembers that World Series.
No, it's every 14 years, right?
Yeah, well.
Roughly. That's cool.
That's that. Fuck them. Fuck the Mets. Yankees, baby.
That's right.
Judge got Triple Crown numbers, MVP numbers, Rookie of the Year numbers. Boom.
Absolutely. Boom. That kid is not just a home run. He's an all around awesome baseball player.
Yeah. I'm like, please don't be taking steroids.
I know. I said,
I'm like, oh God, please don't be taking steroids. Oh, please, Judge. Like, I so believe in you, man. Don't be like, oh, it was a supplement. Somebody gave me, I didn't know it was in it. You know, and my peanut butter shake I didn't know it had that thing in it. Oh, come on, none of that. Just
A-Rod gave me a shake. I wasn't sure.
I don't care if this is your only good year. Just let this be clean.
Yes.
Stay on this pace. Get us to the World Series.
Did you hear what the guys did to him when he hit that the other day? He hit the 496 and then he hit a 385. When he went into the dugout, they all cold like stone faced him. They wouldn't give him any high five because he was only 385.
I love it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I love that shit.
They're all having fun.
This is the most fun
because there's no World Series really to this, right? We're not worrying about the World Series going into the season. It's just a fun ride. It's like, I don't care what happens to this team. It's a fun ride.
It's fun.
Like every year they roll out a team. I'm like, I hope we get to the playoffs. I hope we make the series. I don't give a fuck if we do. It's fun as shit watching them. So whatever happens, happens.
I was never that type of fan where it's like World Series a bust and not enjoying the season. It's like, the only season, like last season, was so lame. They were so boring. I just didn't watch them because they just were boring. So, like I was hanging with my boss the other day because he does camera for the Yankees part time.
Right.
And I was like, I go, no, what I love about this Yankee team, it could be the 8th inning. They're down by 9. I'm like, we can still do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't. They're getting slaughtered. And I'm still watching to the end because I'm like, I've seen it happen. I've seen them just jack 7 runs.
Yeah.
In like no time.
You know what? We were thinking about going to the game last week, and I called up. Remember those counter seats with the stools and everything? And you said we can't. You can't find them online. But I called up and. If the woman understood what I was saying, she said if you look under Pinstripe Pass, the Pinstripe Pass is where you walk around.
Okay.
So the Pinstripe Pass, you can standing and all walking around. So I believe it's those tickets, and they were $18, bro.
Wow. Well, I want to go soon. I think when they come back off this road trip, we have to go.
Okay.
Because I got to get to a game and just watch these guys. This is the fun season. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But let's wrap this up. This weekend, I'll be at Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club Friday and Saturday night. Open up for Steve White. I haven't worked with him yet, but I've heard he's a very funny comedian.
Funny dude. Steve ain't white.
Steve ain't white. Yeah, so I watched one of his clips online. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. He is funny.
So, yeah, I got some other stuff coming up. So go to joefernandez.net to see all my dates. And, Mike, what do you have?
I have tomorrow night I'm at Greenwich. And Saturday night I'm at Jokers up in Chester, New York.
Oh, awesome. Good club.
Yeah, so it's a 9:00 show. Good club. So if you're in the area, come and hang. And then I got a couple of things in the city next week and the week after that. So you can see me in places.
Yeah, maybe I'll come in with you and get some tacos.
There you go.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. You've been listening to All in Our Heads.